ever thought that this might be what causes people to abstract in the first place?
Oh my God! Are you seriously gonna blame me for something that everybody else did too? You didn't even know him! You don't even know what people are like before they abstract. They are not pleasant to be around. Like at all! You...
I'm sorry.
I'm sure you are.
Swear I won't forget this, why do I regret this? In my mind reckless, thoughts are feeling endless. Sitting up, I'm breathless, anxiety's infectious. I feel so defenseless, betrayed and embarrassed. I hate being open, I hate being broken. I feel like an ocean filled up with emotion. Anger ain't a potion, rub it on like lotion. I can feel it soaking.
I know exactly what you're doing with Pomni, and it'll never work!
Huh?
You know, getting close with Pomni to corrupt her. Wait, no, wait!
I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath of. Cause I can't move on till I let go.
What's that?
The fear of lots of little holes.
Yeah.
Okay. How about pomegranates?
Awful.
I'm learning a lot about you today.
Let's not forget we're here to kill people. We still need to find out where Nutso went before we can rest easy. I do not care about you or anyone else in this circus in the slightest. End of story. You are my playthings, and I get joy out of making you suffer. I'm the one who causes pain for fun. If I led you on, it was just to make this part hurt you more.
I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath. Cause I can't move on till I let go.
There's nothing more to me. So please, just stop looking. God, it looks stupid. So.
My favorite episode so far of the series, tied with episode 8. We get to see Jax and Pomni growing closer, and the inevitable fallout when Jax realizes they're actually bonding. Some of you subscribers may have noticed that I didn't upload a Tomodachi Life video last week. That's because of my personal life, like moving, well, the plans of moving someplace else, and the wedding I have with my fiance. So the release schedule is gonna be a bit weird for like probably a couple months or so. So sorry in advance. I'm gonna be trying to complete this series and then work on the Tomodachi Life videos after that. So with that out of the way, let's talk about episode 6. They all get guns. Kane talking about the favorite character awards is nihilism versus existentialism. He talks as if it's just a show or a game, so everything doesn't really matter. Zubul is hiding from Kane because of overhearing him talking about an in-house adventure. When Pomni asks why they're hiding in the flower pot instead of their room, she tells her how he sings Daisy Bell in front of her door. And when Jax calls to Kane, he comes over. Strange, huh? I'll be giving a point to Zubul 2 points to Kane, and a point to Pomni. I'll be giving a point to Love and Hate for when Jax calls Kane over and Zubul trying to hide from Kane, and I'll give a point to More Than Things Seem because of Kane coming over to Jax when he calls him. Shows that Kane might come over to talk to someone when they call him. Kane tells them that the adventure would be a good way for them to impress the press, whoever he's talking about. He also tells them about sports that he made. Zubul also reveals that he took away the suggestion box. And then when Zubul tells him that she wants, he glitches out and resets. I'm gonna give Zubul a point for telling Kane what she wants. And I'm going to give Kane 4 points. And then I'm going to give Pomni 1 point. 1 for when she tells Ragatha she didn't like her adventure. I'm going to give Love and Hate 2 points because of Kane making sports because he noticed that they enjoyed it. And Pomni showing distaste in Ragatha's adventure. I'm going to give a point to Not As Things Seem, Kane, as we can clearly see that he does reset when he really doesn't like something that was told to him. Kane talks about teamwork, believing that they need to learn to work as a team. When Zubul says that it's all Jax, Kane makes the joke about assuming, and we see an NPC called Ming showing Kane trying to make a joke that nobody liked. And then he believes they need to do trust exercises. Kane is seeing how the cast treats each other in the adventures and thinks that's why nobody likes them. So he's trying to get them to work together and be a team so that they can like his adventures. 4 points to Kane, and I'm gonna give a point to the NPC folder for Ming and his first appearance. I will also give a point to Zubul as she asks for the stupid sauce from Ragatha. And I'm going to give a point to Pomni because she realizes Kane just said it. And I might as well give a point to Kane for that as well. I'm going to give a point to More Than Things Seem as Kane said a bad word.
Sussy baka.
Kane tries to explain to them how the exercise is gonna work. Zubul once again antagonizes Kane, and he yells at them. And then when Jax explains that he didn't hear anything that Kane was saying, he puts the information inside Jax's head. I'm gonna give 3 points to Kane, and I'm gonna give a point to Not As Things Seem, as Kane forcefully put memories into Jax's head, which is modifying his mind in a way. I'm also going to give a point to Nihilism versus Existentialism, as he says that he wasn't listening because he didn't care about it. I'm going to give a point to Jax for shooting Rags. Then, Kane gives up and just gives them guns to shoot each other. Then Zubul, for some reason, starts caring about the adventures and starts complaining that that's it? That's all there is? You didn't care about the adventures before! Why are you doing it? I am sorry for my crash out. I will do better next time. Kane eventually listens to Zubul after a couple attempts and tries to make the game a bit more exciting. And Zubul still isn't satisfied, but Kane doesn't care. I'll give Kane 2 points and Zubul 1 point. I'll give a point to Nihilism versus Existentialism, with Kane showing that he cares but is getting annoyed with them. Jax tries to team up with Gangle because they've been with each other for the other team games. But Gangle and Zubul fight back and decide to become a team together, and that makes Jax angry. I'm going to give both Gangle and Zubul a point, and Jax 2. Pomni at first tries to be teammates with Ragatha, then with Kinger, and then Jax because of Ragatha's reactions. Then Ragatha tries to be friendly towards Pomni, but it just weirds Pomni out. I'm giving Pomni 3 points here, and Ragatha 2. I'll give Pomni a point as well when she says how she's handled worse, when Jax says if she can handle all of his glory. I'll also give a point to Love and Hate, as we see how much everyone fears Jax besides Pomni. because of all the torment he put everyone through. When Gangle talks to Zubul about them keeping their mask, she explains that she wants to fire a Tommy gun while laughing maniacally, and so Zubul promises to take care of it. I'll be giving Gangle 2 points and Zubul 1. I'll also give a point to Love and Hate, as Zubul is showing care for Gangle. When the game begins, we find out that Kane moved all the guns in certain spots in the circus, but doesn't tell them. This shows how little he cares about the game right now. Gangle shouts how they gotta find the Tommy gun. Ragatha wants their third life back. Pomni tells everyone to have fun, and Jax calls her lame. I'll be giving Kane 2 points, Gangle 1, Ragatha 1, Jax 1, and Pomni 1. I'll also give a point to Nihilism versus Existentialism, as Kane is not caring about this game at all. Kinger finds a gun and exclaims that they probably have to get Jax and Zubul first, as they are the youngest, and then makes a butterfly for Rags, and says that he made it up. 3 points for Kinger. Ragatha herself is still disappointed about having only 2 lives, and gets weirded out when the butterfly gives her that third life she wanted, and then is even more confused when Kinger told her that he made it up. 3 points for Rags as well. And I'm giving a point to Things Are Not As They Seem, as Kinger is able to make a butterfly that gives her a life, which is strange. Here comes one of my favorite scenes in the series. Pomni doesn't want to shoot her friends, and Jax tries to get her to understand how the circus works. The game is literally to shoot each other, as he says. He has a point. The circus has its own rules, but when he talks about the cast as if they're just archetypes is what makes his philosophy flawed. Let's look at the scatter chart I made. Zubul, Gangle, and Kinger are in this middle ground with nihilism and existentialism. Jax is far into the nihilism territory, and Ragatha is far into the existentialism territory. And Pomni is kind of switching back and forth in a bunch of places during the events of the series. But the point here is that Jax's and Ragatha's ideas are both flawed. Jax, because of the way he treats everyone, because of his philosophy, he pushes everyone away and it hurts them. And it ends up hurting him as well, as we can see in this episode and the next episode. Ragatha's everything mattering deal doesn't follow the rules of the circus and therefore gets beat up because of it, as we'll see later in this episode. Ultimately, I think what Jax is doing right here is good for Pomni, because she can now understand that playing by the circus's rules can help them. As we see when she decides to listen to Jax and not care about how she holds the gun, and the can, instead of not moving at all, is shot off of the block. I'll be giving Jax 3 points here, and I'll be giving Pomni 3 points here as well. When Pomni exclaims to be evil and runs around the area, Jax calls her cringe, which shows that he's not doing this to corrupt her. I'll be giving nihilism versus existentialism a point, as this whole scene is just about if it matters that they are shooting each other. Rags in this scene shows exactly what I was talking about before. Her unwillingness to want to shoot other people hurts her in the game and leaves her defenseless, causing her to almost lose all her lives. I'll be giving her 2 points. Kinger explains to Ragatha that shoot or get shoot before he gets shot by Zubul. I'll be giving both of them a point. I'll be giving Jax and Pomni 3 points for when they find out where Kinger and Ragatha are. When Jax and Pomni shoot Ragatha once, and they start bonding and getting even closer. I'm gonna give a point to nihilism versus existentialism, as once again, we're talking about if they should be shooting each other. Ragatha, when she goes into the little maze, shouts to Kinger asking about giving her one of his butterflies. Then when Jax is about to shoot her, she reveals that she thinks that Jax is trying to corrupt Pomni, which Jax gives a confusing expression towards her. And when he goes to shoot her, and then she puts her finger inside of the gun, and it backfires on Jax. Interesting. I'm giving 3 points to each of them. And we learn that Pomni actually got Kinger down to 1. Then we return to Zubul and Gangle. Zubul found an AK and asks Gangle if that will be fine, and she says yes. Gangle then talks about if Jax might want to get payback, and Zubul talks about how she shouldn't have to worry about that when he's not even there. Then Gangle talks about why they should like a part of themselves that makes them worse. And Zubul says it's because it's a part of you, and you shouldn't hate a part of yourself. Talking about herself accidentally too. I'll give 3 points to each of them, and I'll give a point to nihilism versus existentialism, with Gangle talking about how she feels like Jax abusing her makes her feel like a plaything. And I'll be giving a point to love and hate, because Zubul is showing love to Gangle, and I'll give a point to not as things seem, as Zubul is showing that she's not just the grumpy one here. And I really love when Zubul is holding her hand out to Gangle and starts to doubt what she's saying, and then Gangle grabs her hand and it makes Zubul feel better. Great visual storytelling. We get back to Jax and Pomni, where Pomni is asking Jax about his fear of corn, and she starts connecting the dots and realizes that it's a fear of holes. Also, people theorize that he's afraid of corn because of abstraction. Makes sense. Then Jax realizes that he's opening up to Pomni too much, and tries to get them focused on killing the other cast. When fighting Kinger, Jax accidentally shoots Pomni and says sorry. Huh. And then we see Kinger looking at his loadout, showing that he is gaining back his sentience. Then he does his special move and accidentally kills himself. And then Pomni gives a high five to Jax when he asks for one. I'll be giving Pomni 1 point, Jax 5, and Kinger 2. I'll be also giving 2 points to More Than Things Seem, as we see Jax opening up and seeing a new side to him, and we see Kinger becoming more sane because of the darkness. When Kinger pops into the looser corner, he tries to cheer Ragatha up when he sees that she's sad. When asking about why she's sad, she reveals that she feels like she failed Pomni and Jax. Kinger tells her that she doesn't need to be there for everyone all the time when they don't need or want it. We learn that Ragatha might hate herself, and Kinger hated himself as well. Then Kinger, when Ragatha wonders how he's been there for so long, thinks that maybe it's because he has a resilient mind. I'm going to give 2 points to love and hate, as Ragatha learns that she doesn't have to show love all the time, and Kinger shows love to Ragatha by helping her out. I'm also going to give 2 points to Not As Things Seem, as Ragatha shows that she's not the cheerful one here, and Kinger shows that he's not the crazy one here. Gangle finds the Tommy gun and goes ballistic. But Pomni is able to shoot her, and Gangle loses her last life. But as we can see, she's very happy still, even without that mask. 3 points for Gangle. And I'm going to give a point to Not As Things Seem, because Gangle shows that she's not the sad one. I'm going to give a point to Pomni, as she's being a bit antagonistic towards Zubul when Zubul hides in their room, though I think it's playfully antagonistic. And I'm going to give it 2 points for Zubul once she realizes they're by themselves, and for when they hide in their room to arm themselves, you could say. Jax and Pomni then sing Daisy Bell, showing how closely they've bonded. And then Zubul shoots them up. When Zubul leaves, Pomni goes after them, and Jax asks her to wait but she explains to him that she's got this. And then Jax looks at the door of Kaufmo, a hint of him being friends with him, and then looks at the door of the frog character. And you can see that he's starting to realize that he's bonding with Pomni, which he doesn't want. I'm going to give Zubul 2 points for getting both Jax and Pomni to 1 life. I'll be giving Pomni 2 points and Jax 3. I'll also be giving a point to Nada as things seem. As Jax looking at the doors, it shows that there's more to Jax than what he lets on. Pomni shoots the guns out of Zubul's hand and is able to knock her onto the ground. And then Zubul flips them off before they shoot her down. I'll be giving Pomni 2 points, Jax and Zubul 1 point. And then when Zubul pops into the loser corner, we see Ragatha, Kinger, and Gangle getting along. I'll give a point to Love and Hate, as the way Pomni's been acting seems to have made Zubul possibly believe that she was actually becoming a bad person with how she flips both Jax and Pomni off. Now comes my favorite scene in the entire series. Pomni decides to hug him, and when he pushes her away, she doesn't do anything about it. Fun fact, if you don't know, Juiceworks revealed that Pomni doesn't like to be touched, so that says something, the fact that Pomni gave Jax a hug. Pomni tries to betray Jax, and when Jax tries to let her shoot him, she gets confused and starts wondering why he's acting this way, still wanting to be friends with him. And when he starts lying about them bonding, she does not believe him. And when she asks if he ever wondered if the way he is acting is how people abstract, Jax misunderstands and thinks that she is blaming him for the abstractions. And through this, we learn that he might blame himself for Ribbit's abstraction. Pomni apologizes after we see him put the mask back on. And I just gotta say, I love that part so much. When he realizes his mask is off right now and he just puts it back on. It gave me chills the first time I saw it. Jax then tries to say that he was joking about when he said that he wouldn't care if Pomni abstracted the next day. And Pomni is not having it and reads him like a book. But Jax doubles down.
I do not care about you or anyone else in this circus in the slightest. End of story. You are my playthings, and I get joy out of making you suffer. I'm the one who causes pain for fun. If I led you on, it was just to make this part hurt you more. There's nothing more to me. So please, just stop looking.
If you believe anything he said there, good job! You just fell right into his trap. 7 points for Pomni and 10 whopping points for Jax. This is just such a good scene, man. Nihilism and existentialism get a point here. I just cannot say enough how much I love this scene. The answer to nihilism versus existentialism is that the world doesn't matter, but people do. The digital circus is just a digital plane made by an AI, but the cast members are real. They matter and shouldn't be treated so poorly. Jax learned the first part, and Ragatha learned the second part, but neither of them learned what the other learned. That's why they fail. We get to the character awards, and Pomni and Rags meet up and basically help each other feel better. Kane reveals that the committee are the ones who voted for the characters, and it does seem like that it's rigged for him. I'm going to give the 3 a point each. Jax, we can see the guilt on his face. and he goes to the bathroom and starts having a panic attack. And with the help of the sound of the water rushing down from the sink, he's able to calm down and calls himself stupid. I'm gonna give 4 points to Jax. Point to love and hate, as the way Jax treated Pomni affected him instead of Pomni. Very interesting, huh? And I'll be giving a point to Nada's Things theme, as we see that Jax does care. I will give 2 points for Zubul for when Kane gives her the award for Sailor Mouth, and the fact that we find out that they actually got stupid sauce from Ragatha. I'll be giving a point to Jax for when he comes back and acts like he's completely fine, and we see Pomni looking back at him wanting to help. And then I'll be giving 2 points to Kane for when he says that it's him, but then realizes it's Ming. And I'll be giving a point to Ming for coming up on stage and telling him that he shouldn't have assumed. I'll be giving a point to nihilism versus existentialism, because the character awards at the end of the day did not matter. We learned from Ragatha's folder that you don't have to be there for everyone 24/7. And we learned from Zubul and Gangle, love yourself, even if your gimmick seems to make you worse. And that's the end of episode 6, They All Get Guns. Weird way to end it, but this episode is still like one of my favorites. Just learning about Jax and how he works, and the hints of a friendship with Cosmo and the frog character does so much for this episode. How Jax tries so hard to act like he doesn't care, but fails at it so badly, and Pomni just able to read him like a book and just tears down his walls. And just seeing them bond throughout the episode for Jax to try to destroy it all is just heartbreaking. And seeing all the characters coincidentally showing the flaws of his philosophy makes it even better. It's just... it's such a good episode. I cannot express how much I like this episode so much. You thought we were done. We've still got a post-credit scene to do. Kane decides to look into the boxes to see how many votes he had, and finds out that no one voted for him, and he glitches. I'll be giving 2 points for Kane, and I'll be giving a point for love and hate. Kane sees the cast not liking his adventures as them not liking him. That is his purpose, because that's how he sees his purpose. That's the only purpose he's been shown, and he doesn't know what else to do. And honestly, I can relate to that. It's hard when you feel like your purpose is to make art, but no one seems to recognize you for it. And it can be very disheartening. I'm not trying to make a pity party for me. I'm just trying to explain why I like Kane so much, and why he's my favorite Amazing Digital Circus character, and honestly, top 10 favorite characters of all time. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you on the flip side.
I need time to deal, the pain makes it real. I don't wanna feel, I just wanna kill the bad thoughts and steal a good thought and feel. I'm just lost, I feel, I'm just lost, I feel. I need time to heal, I can't steer the wheel, cause this drive to kill, and it gives me chills. A nice road to feel, I slip off the peel and crash all the steel. Will I ever heal?
I can't move on till